In the open-world game Genshin Impact, you must engage in a variety of challenging boss battles. Character leveling materials are dropped during these battles. Additionally, the game has a variety of enemies, including local legends and weekly bosses. Some players find these opponents annoying to deal with because they can be very difficult. According to their mechanics and team limitations, the 5 most obnoxious bosses in Genshin Impact are listed in this video. In version 5.3, the weekly boss Lord of Eroded Primal Fire was added. Its mechanics made it one of Genshin Impact's most obnoxious bosses to defeat. You will need characters who can use the Blessing State of the Night Soul to attack some of its shields. Additionally, the boss has an eroded mechanism that deals damage even through shields and deals a lot of damage. As a result, you may also need a healer to combat this foe. 3 pillars that are easily broken by Natlan characters are summoned by the boss during battle. This boss is regarded as being very annoying because of these limitations and procedures. Another obnoxious Natlan boss that requires particular characters to handle is the Secret Source boss. It has a large amount of elemental resistance at first, which can only be decreased by disabling its mechanism. But you will need Natlan characters to break this. Waiting for the boss to enter charging mode is an alternative, but it will take longer than using Natlan units. You must use characters like Mavuika, Citlali, Zilonin, Kachina, Kinich, Kazuha, and Lan Yan to climb on top of the 2 pillars the enemy will summon during this phase in order to destroy the mechanisms. The boss will then become immobile and lose all of its resistance for a duration of 15 seconds. One boss that was added in the Inazuma version was Golden Wolf Lord. It remains one of the most obnoxious foes in the game. When this enemy strikes a character, it applies a corrosion stack, which causes damage even through shields. Additionally, since it flies over the arena, you need ranged characters like Fischl, Ganyu, Laini, Tinari, and Nuvalet to deal damage to it. Furthermore, dealing with and immobilizing the boss's mechanism requires the use of Geo characters. To defeat this boss from the Natlan region, a particular team composition or number of units is needed. Tenebrous Papilla produces a shield that can only be successfully countered by Night Soul-aligned attacks or frequently occurring elemental reactions like burning or hyperbloom. This shield deals a lot of damage to the active character and gains high elemental resistance if you are unable to tackle it. This enemy still has a high resistance even though you could get out of its range. It also deals a lot of damage and imitates other bosses in the game. Despite being one of the game's first bosses, Oceanid is still challenging to defeat. You cannot use any DPS characters to one-shot it like you can other bosses on this list. It is impossible to defeat this enemy using conventional methods because it has multiple stages. Oceanid calls forth Hydro Mimics. The boss will suffer damage if these enemies are vanquished. As a result, you cannot use any character to one-shot the boss. These mimics can be annoying to deal with and inflict a lot of damage. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to turn that notification bell on to get all future updates.